Have you ever stood at the edge of a thought so powerful it swallowed your peace whole? Have you ever found yourself drifting away from everything you believed in just for a glimpse, a feeling, a desire? This is not just a story. This is a mirror. And maybe, just maybe, you'll see a part of yourself in what unfolds. High above the mist-covered hills, surrounded by ancient pines and the songs of hidden streams, stood a modest Buddhist monastery. Life here flowed like a quiet river, slow, mindful, and pure. The monks who lived there followed a life of simplicity and silence. They spent their days meditating, chanting, and studying the sutras. The master of the monastery was an old monk known simply as Venerable Chan. His words were few, but when he spoke, even the trees seemed to listen. One autumn morning, a new disciple named Ranyu arrived. He was only 18. Bright eyes, steady hands, and a burning desire to walk the path of enlightenment. He was welcomed with warmth and silence. Ranyu adapted quickly. He was sincere in his practice, diligent in his duties, and humble in his conduct. Like the others, he followed the daily rituals. One of them was going down to the village at dawn to receive alms, a way to maintain humility and connect with the laypeople. Everything was calm, until one morning changed everything. The sun had just begun to rise, casting golden hues across the misty fields. As Ranyu approached a modest house at the edge of the village, he knocked gently. The door opened, and time, for him, stopped. A young woman stood before him. Her hair was wet from a recent bath, clinging gently to her glowing skin. Her eyes sparkled like morning dew, and her smile held a grace he had never seen before. She bowed respectfully and said, "Please wait, Venerable. I'll bring your offering." Ranyu lowered his gaze, nodded, and murmured thanks. She returned moments later with a small bowl of rice and vegetables, offered with both hands. As he walked back to the monastery, her image lingered, not just in his memory, but in his breath, his steps, his thoughts. That night, he could not meditate. Her face danced in the space behind his closed eyes. He told himself it was just a moment, a ripple on the still surface of the mind. But ripples, when fed, become waves. The next morning, against the custom of visiting different houses, he returned to the same home. Again, she welcomed him. Again, she smiled. Again, she offered food with a gentle bow. Days passed, and so did the rule. Ranyu began going to the same house, at the same time, just to see the same smile. One day, he arrived earlier than usual. The door opened, and the young woman looked surprised. She laughed softly. "Venerable, I haven't bathed yet. I always bathe before giving alms. Please wait." She picked up a clay pot and walked toward the river. Ranyu hesitated. Then, quietly, he followed her. He kept a distance, hidden behind trees. His heart pounded with guilt, but also something else. Curiosity? Desire? She bathed in the river as the morning sun shimmered on the water. Her movements were graceful, innocent. He knew he shouldn't watch. He knew this was not the path. But he didn't stop. And the next day, he did the same, again and again. What began as admiration became obsession. At the monastery, the changes were noticeable. Ranyu stopped speaking to others. He struggled to sit in meditation. He woke early, but not for practice. He ate little, spoke even less, and when asked questions, he replied with vague excuses. Venerable Chan observed silently. He did not confront. He waited. One day, before dawn, the master rose and quietly followed Ranyu down the mountain. From the trees he watched. He saw everything. The master sighed deeply, but he did not interrupt. That evening, after prayers, he called Ranyu to his chamber. The room was lit only by a single candle. "You've walked far today, haven't you?" the master asked. Ranyu froze. "What troubles your mind, child?" Ranyu looked down. His voice cracked. "Nothing, master. I am just tired." The master nodded. "Come with me tomorrow morning. We'll walk together." Before dawn, they left. No words, just footsteps. Hours passed. They climbed beyond the usual paths through thick forest until they reached a hidden pond. It was still murky, and filled with stagnant water. The master turned and said, "Cross this pond and return." Ranyu looked at the mud, then at his robe. "Master, may I remove my robe? It will be soiled." "Why?" the master asked. "It's precious. It shouldn't touch filth." The master nodded slowly. "Ah, you fear dirtying your robe, yet you've soiled your mind without a thought." Ranyu looked away, ashamed. "The robe," the master continued, "can be washed, but what of your thoughts? What of the stains desire has left?" The master pointed to the muddy water. "Lust is like this pond. At first, it seems still, harmless, but step in, and it clings. Struggle, and it drags you deeper. You did not fall because you are weak. You fell because you forgot to guard your mind." Tears welled in Ranyu's eyes. "I failed you, master." "No, Ranyu, you failed yourself. But failure is not defeat unless you refuse to rise." That night, Ranyu did not sleep. He sat beneath the Bodhi tree near the monastery. He wept. He chanted. He forgave himself. And from the next day, he changed. He no longer went to the village. He stayed. He cleaned. He meditated. He watched every thought like a guardian at the gates. His struggle was long. His mind was not silent in a day. But with time, the fog lifted. His heart grew calm again. Years passed. Ranyu became a teacher, wise, gentle, deep. He taught young monks not just sutras, but the dangers of forgetting to guard the mind. He often told this story, not hiding that he was the boy. He'd say, "Victory over others brings applause, but victory over yourself brings peace." If you've ever felt ashamed of your thoughts, you're not alone. But know this, your thoughts are not permanent. You are not your past, and desire, though powerful, is not undefeatable. What you feed grows. What you neglect fades. Meditate. Protect your mind. Stay awake. And always remember, falling is not failure. Staying fallen is. If this story moved you, subscribe to Golden Bell Dharma. Share this tale with someone who may need a reminder that even from the darkest mud, the lotus rises. Until next time, may your heart be calm, your mind be clear, and your spirit unwavering.